plot thickens. Charlie Cratchit was not the only one having a bad day. Tom Trindle was hugely frustrated. Tom Trindle's ambition was to be rich and famous. He'd come to the conclusion that the way to achieve this was to write and record a song, or better still, a whole album that would sell in hundreds of thousands, catapulting him, Tom Trindle, to superstar status, amassing fame and fortune along the way. He knew how it worked. Goodness knows he'd seen enough episodes of X Factor. And Tom had belief in his own ability. He sometimes thought he'd read every inspirational self-help book ever written. Or maybe he could write one of his own as a sideline. As it happened, the first song he was working on was something along the lines of an inspirational anthem cum love song. He was confident that it ticked all the right boxes. Well, it would, of course, if only he could translate the words that he'd written and the melody he had singing in his head to a piece of music that would not only be a written record of his creation, but equally importantly and crucial to realising his dreams of superstardom, provide the musicians he would need to back him with the information they needed in order to project what was currently only real in his head out into the world that was going to make him a superstar. Tom Trindle gazed miserably at the blank page that glared accusingly back at him. The trouble was that while Tom Trindle had penned the poem that was the lyric to his first song with relative ease, and had indeed the melody in mind that was going to bring his song to life, he'd never had any kind of musical training. So he hadn't the first idea of where he should begin. But no, he wasn't going to quit. Not Tom Trindle. Oh, no. Winners never quit, 'cause quitters never win. He'd seen that on a fridge magnet somewhere and had thought it deeply profound. Tom Trindle was in the process of planting goals from which he would harvest dreams. Ha! Another fridge magnet. Maybe there was less need for yet another self-help book out there than he thought. Best stick with the album. But the fact was that Tom Trindle's dreams of superstardom were not going to be destroyed by a blank page, though gazing at the offending blank page he could not for the life of him work out how he was going to overcome the problem. In his very grand castle, Sir Sebastian Stave was rattling round, feeling unaccountably unsettled. It had all started out really well. He had felt thoroughly satisfied reliving past glories, listening to what amounted to a never-ending wall of sound in every imaginable genre, except punk rock. Sebastian had never felt comfortable with the sounds created under the punk rock banner. But luckily there was more than enough material from the great classics, jazz, musicals, folk, pop and rock genres to keep him fully occupied. However, even Sebastian, in his elevated knighted position, soon came to realise that this was not all he had thought it to be. Ironically, listening to all the many and varied triumphs, it made him itch to get creative again. And he missed his mates. Maybe it was time for a rethink. So next time we'll see what happens.